Hi, so in this short video we're going to have a look at writing one quantity as a percentage of another. So what we're looking for is we're looking at two numbers, and we're looking at the two numbers, and then we're going to basically think about them as a fraction and use what we know already and then change that into a percentage. So let's have a look in terms of an example or two. Let's pretend that today we have 10 people in class, alright, and what we're saying is 4 out of those 10, okay, so 4 out of 10 people in class today are wearing glasses. So the idea is very simple. I'm going to, again, as I always do, I'm just going to use straightforward simple numbers. Okay. Now 4 out of 10. Now let's have a look at different methods or different ways of doing this. Okay. So we could do a simple fraction method. And what do we mean by a fraction? Well, you can see the question itself is leading itself into a fraction idea. So we're saying 4 out of 10. Now you can see that's written now as a fraction, so instead of a sentence it's a fraction, and that will cut down to 2 out of 5. Alright, now there's your fraction. There's your fraction, which is 2/5. And so what we're saying is that it's 2 out of 5 people is the same as 4 out of 10 people. So we've got 2/5. Now we've got 2/5 of what? Well, the class is 100%. So we've got 2/5 of 100%. That can be written as 2/5. We've seen it before as of, meaning that times idea. Now look what you end up with. Alright? You end up with a fraction. If you can see anything that will, as you call it, cut, that will simplify, 5 goes into 5 one time, and 5 will go into 100 20 times. So what you end up with is 2 times 20, which is 40%. Alright, now 4 out of 10, 2 out of 5. Okay, using the idea of a fraction. Alright. We'll do the same question, but this time using a ratio method, idea of ratio. And it might sound a bit scary, the idea of a ratio, but you'll see what I'm doing. Okay, this time we've got 4 out of 10, and we're trying to do a percentage here. Okay, so if we think of the 100% as the whole thing, so we have 100%. Just change the colour back again. Okay, now what do I do to 10 to make it into 100? What do I do to that 10? Correct? Alright, so in other words, 10 times 10 will be 100. But I've just times that by 10, so 4 times 10 will give me 40. So 10 goes to 100 as 4 goes to 40. There's your 40%. Okay, that's it. Very simple. Choose which method you like and whichever you think is easiest. Right, now let's make something that's a little bit more realistic, because in our class we don't have 10 people, and so the number that we're using might be a little bit trickier. Let's do another example. In a group of 83 people, okay, let's say 42 were Thai. How's that? Just making this up as we go on. Now the thing is here, the ratio method is not very good, because we've 83 people and we want to make that into 100 people. But it's a bit tricky. How do you get 83? What do you do to 83 to make it into 100? Yeah, we can add 17, but that's not what the ratio means. We have to times it by something. Okay, so that's going to be a bit of a struggle. But we can go with the fraction idea again, though. If we use this fraction idea in this case, what we're saying is we look at our question and we say to ourselves, what fraction can we write? Well, it's 42 out of 83. So this is 42 out of 83. So now we have a fraction. But that's 42 out of 83rds of 100%. It's a part of 100%. 100% would be 83 people. 42 people clearly are not, it's not 100%, it's a lot less. So all we have to do is 42 over 83, there's our fraction, of 100 over 1. Now, as before, you can look at it and see if you can, as you call it, cut it. We could simplify it down. We could say, does anything go into this that goes into that? But to be honest, I don't think it will. And I've designed it that way anyway. But you'll notice on the right hand side we've got a calculator. Now, using what you know about fractions, what we came up with before, and we showed you this in class as well, is when you're multiplying fractions, you notice that you multiply the tops and you multiply the bottoms. Alright, so using our calculator over here, we can do 42 times 100, not that you need a calculator for that, is 4200. Duh. Oops. Oh, bit of a perfectionist here. I've got to have the right colour. Sorry about that. Just bear with me. So it's 4200, 4200, all over 83 times 1 is 83. Okay. Now I'm going to put the approximately sign, which I use that one for the approximately sign. So we've got 4200, we're going back to our calculator, divided by 83. Okay, and that gives an answer of 50.6 blah blah blah, for about 50.6%. Okay, just over half. Just over half that group are tie. Well, you can see that yourself. What's 42 times 2? Yep, 84. Alright. So we're 50.6. We're just over halfway. That's it. Done.